And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas here with you this morning, visiting this morning with Sandy Turner. She is Director of Development for the Early Childhood Resource Center. And I asked her, what does the Early Childhood Resource Center do?
I always talk about the Early Childhood Resource Center and really emphasize the word resource, because what we do is we assist children, we assist teachers, and we assist families. So those are the three segments that we assist. And we're all about getting kids ready for kindergarten.
What ages does the Early Childhood Resource Center serve?
Well, we can say up to 8 is who we really work with. But when you're really talking about getting ready for kindergarten, it's really 0 to 5, 0 to 6. We have parenting education classes that we offer. And there's many of them that we offer, but there is one 0 to 3, and they really talk about the behaviors of a child in 0 to 3, and they give parents coping skills with those behaviors.
I asked Sandy, what kinds of things should parents of a newborn infant be doing in order to prepare their child to learn?
Well, so for example, how we explain the 0 to 3, it says parents of newborns through 3-year-olds will learn about their child's cognitive, language, social, emotional, and physical development. We also have classes that are aged 5 to 12, which we call active parenting. We have ones that are called 24/7 Dad, which is really geared toward a father to be involved in their child as they are in those young age. And it's taught by dads. So it says taught by dads for dads of infants and children 12 and younger. This program helps dads strengthen the bonds with their children as they learn about the critical role the dad plays in the child's life.
And Sandy emphasized the importance of fathers, hands-on dads, being involved in the child's early learning processes.
It's nice to have the dads being involved. We also offer a program called Parent Cafe, which is kind of like what you and I are doing, where we just sit down and talk about various issues. The parent cafes are actually provided in schools, in churches, in libraries, and at our facility. But these are structured small group conversations, and they bring parents together. And it's not just the mom. There are dads involved. There are grandparents involved. And it's facilitated. And it's like a cafe. You sit down, you have a meal, and then you talk about issues, and you learn from each other. There's nothing negative that's talked about, that we don't say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. It's all about how can we help you, and what have you done that works for you. And so they're called parent cafes.
When and where do these take place?
It varies. We'll tell you on the website how you can look at. We do have structured calendar, and you can look at the website. With the parent cafes, we encourage families to attend 3 of them in a row so that they can really get to know some of the other people in the area and have more of a support group, and then learn as the 3 progress.
Sandy pointed out that these cafes and learning opportunities are not only for at-risk families.
And that's true, and we do try to focus them around neighborhoods so that you may be, like at a school, there may be a parent that you haven't met, but you bond during this parent cafe. So then after it's over, you'll have someone that you can communicate with. And we do have 5 strengthening families, that's called 5 strengthening families methods that we go through in this parent cafe.
And good news for young parents.
Babysitting is provided at most of our activities, and we usually do serve food.
Sandy described the one-on-one resources available to families.
One of the areas that we do that a lot of people might not realize is we have a program that's called Spark. And Spark is a program where we actually do go into homes and we bring structured curriculum. And this is offered to families that have a 4-year-old. And what we are doing is we are going into the home And we are working with the 4-year-old on specific areas that get them ready for kindergarten. So say this time we came in with a book, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. And so we would read the book, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. We would talk about the letters. We would have the child interact during that. We would sing the song, and we would have activities for them to do around that book. And in the meantime, the parent is also there, sitting at the table, engaging with their child in this same lesson. So then as we leave, then we've left behind those items for the parent and child to continue working on as they both get ready for kindergarten. And who does that is we have what we call parent partners, and they are a person that's been assigned to that family. And for a year, they work with that family on getting the child and the parent ready for kindergarten with the areas that they need to know.
Families learn about how they can participate in a variety of ways.
We work hand in hand with the school district. So a lot of the schools do recommend families to us, and a lot of it's word of mouth. Someone that's participated in the Spark program really liked it, and so they've told their neighbors to get involved. We're actually involved in the Alliance City Schools, the Canton City Schools, Canton Local Schools, Masson City Schools, Minerva Local Schools, Perry Local Schools, Plain Local Schools, and Sandy Valley Local Schools. So that's our target audience that we have been working with. This is a program that we have done for 10 years, and the positive thing about the Spark program is we have tracked those children that we've been working with for the last 10 years, and we have found that all the children we work with do better than their peers as they enter kindergarten, do better than their peers on the 3rd grade testing, and do better than their peers on the 5th grade testing. And so it's a program that starts getting them ready for kindergarten, but has given them that success that they need when they start that keeps it going through 3rd and 4th, and hopefully into 7th grade we'll be finding out those statistics soon. And the Spark program is a wonderful program. It was first funded through the Sisters of Charity Foundation of Canton, and they actually ran the program, and then they rolled it to us 5 years ago because of the fact that we are an early childhood resource center. And so we actually are the people now that maintain it, hire the parent partners, and make sure that the program is what it should be doing, getting these children ready for kindergarten. And I showed you when I first arrived, we do have a card here that is the 16 for success. And these are 16 areas or skills that a child needs to have before they start kindergarten.
And just what are these 16 skills?
So they need to identify and name at least 10 different colors. They need to identify and name the common shapes. And so that's a triangle, a circle. They need to recognize uppercase and lowercase letters. They need to retell stories in the order. Like the first thing happened, then the middle, and then the end happened. They need to use and follow location words, above, below, next to. They need to talk about quantities, that it's full, or there's some, or there could be less. They need to talk about qualities, if it's hard or soft, if it's rough, if it's loud, if it's dry or sweet, like if you're tasting something. They need to be able to group objects together based on colors, shapes, or sizes. And we do a lot of that with the Spark, where they're grouping items together. Produce rhyming words for common pictures, hat and bat. And I've heard some of the parent partners say that this is one of the hardest ones for the kids to tackle. But produce rhyming words. Recognize when words begin with the same sound. And then hold books in the proper way. A lot of times kids will take a book and then they'll tell you a story like they think they're reading, but making sure they're holding it the correct way. And books still are important, even though we're in an electronic world. They need to count to 20 by 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. They need to read the numbers 0 to 10. They need to count up to 10 objects in a pile, like counting toys and piling them up. And they need to compare qualities of objects, like this is more than or this is less than. And then they need to think about and solve problems Like, how can we, whatever that is.
Sure. We're going to take a break right now. In the meantime, see if you can name 10 colors. We'll be back with Sandy Turner after these words. You're listening to Our Community. I think